Welcome to Galactic Grandmother, Heart to Heart. My name is April, and this is part two with Shekinah Blu Sophia and DayStarr. We had a wonderful episode, or part one, that I will link below this one. And they talked about their personal journeys to get to where they are today and how they met. And that's how we're going to start up again today. Just a little bio. Shekinah Blu Sophia. She is a soul that's incarnated, and she's very strongly carries the energy of the divine feminine mother. She's been a healer of the land and into so many healing modalities that in part one you'll hear about. And same thing with DayStarr. He has been healer of the land. He's a breathwork facilitator and divine masculine guide. And together they have formed the Blue Star Collective, and they are also plant medicine facilitators. So welcome back for part two.
Thank you for having us again.
It's beautiful to be here. Thank you.
You both shared your personal journeys last time, and then up to the point where you met and you first got together, and you were in, was it Big Sur?
Yes.
And from there, what happened when you were in Big Sur?
Well, I went back to Sedona because I had a bus there and some other stuff. I went back to Shasta first, then I went back to Sedona after. My stuff in Shasta, I packed it up and went to Sedona and packed up my stuff, and then I went to her house. And it's been on ever since. She went back home, and we've been together since.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's been about 5 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this lifetime.
In this lifetime. We've been
Yes.
together many, many lifetimes, millennia, and millennia.
And that's probably why you looked into each other's eyes and literally time stopped. You recognized each other in that quantum field.
Right.
So, how did you get from, you were living in Nevada, correct? From
Southern
Nevada to Oregon.
Okay.
Well, she was like she explained in the first one, she was ready to go anyway. She was getting ready to sell all her things, including her house and everything, and move into her SUV, sell her healing center, sell her home, and just leave and do land healing full time. And I moved there and we facilitated that together. And instead of her moving into her SUV, we moved into the big green van. But I went and stayed with her, and we worked on the van. We actually took my van apart and made it into our van, rebuilt it completely. And then we took off on the road. We did a couple caravans. We did some tours, doing plant medicine. We toured on a caravan with Gino Yu. He's a really cool guy. He studies human phenomena. We met just plethoras of people. We spoke at some conferences, Sedona Dreamscape, a few other places. We just went around sharing our genius and being an example and doing plant medicine ceremonies for a couple years, pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Wherever we were called to, we went.
Wherever we were called.
And I would love to circle back to the caravan. This was so much fun. So we had, this is one of those so many magic moments. And I was actually very resistant to this caravan. I wanted to just go up to the Pacific Northwest and travel up there. And Day was very passionate about this. And we said yes. So we were called into an emergency situation where this being was what we can call popping, and
having a spiritual emergence.
In a spiritual emergence, in a spirit, he's really going through his awakening, and it was complicated by by drugs. It was complicated by that. So we came in and so we took him on ceremony and did some things, and in this, the gentleman that was doing the intervention was Gino Yu, and he came down even the next day after the ceremony and everything. We had gone on because we had plans to go up to the Pacific Northwest, and he came and found us down at this Whole Foods. that was way down the mountain.
We're in
We were
Malibu,
in
up in the mountains.
Malibu, and we didn't even know. We're like, oh my God, is our van even gonna make it up this hill? It was so steep, and
It was a cool place.
it
Though.
was
It had an infinity
amazing.
pool. It
It was
was
really
on the edge of a
amazing.
cliff. It was awesome. It was a great
Yeah,
place.
a lot of times on our times coming together and wherever we were called to, I'm like, where are we and what is going on?
How did we
Okay.
end up here?
And what is going to be revealed? This is so much fun. And
So
so
Gino found us at the
he
grocery
found
store.
us at the grocery store and said, "Hey, I'm traveling." He does caravans for people and unbeknownst to us, but he said, "You want to go on a caravan with me
Let me
for
explain a little bit about the
that'd be
caravan.
great. Thank you." Yes.
So this guy, Gino Yu, he does these caravans. He takes people on these, existential experiences, and it's like you grab whatever you have, like a backpack of clothes, and then you just go and travel wherever. Like he goes all over the world traveling to all these different destinations where he has, a pop-up, like a pop-up meet and greet and a pop-up evening event, pop-up something. There's a pop-up something. So he does this, and he's been doing it all over the world in between his teachings and his TED Talks and all that stuff. And he asked us if we wanted to go, and man, it sounded really awesome to me. And Mama was like, I don't think I want to do this. But then what happened?
I said, okay, okay.
No, but then what happened on the tour? Like we talked about last
It was
night.
just so the magic unfolded, and
Yes.
it's part of the training, right?
Mm.
We're put to the mat for 3.5 weeks. We're going on no sleep, no food. We don't know where we're going to stay. We don't know where we're going. We don't know who we're going to meet, but we follow the signs. We
Literally follow the
follow
signs, like in
discipline.
silence, sitting in silence or sitting in presence with each other, staring into each other's eyes till the universe changed. This real cute, this not cute, this real human phenomena. When you sit and stare into someone's left eye and they stare back, the world changes around you. You'll go into a psychedelic experience and it's almost dimethyltryptamine, and you'll start hearing the universe speak to you. So this is what Gino Yu teaches. So he was teaching us that even though we do it through DMT and meditation and breath work, we never did it just sitting plainly like you and I right now. And wow, does this change the world when you are really, when she said we were just going guided by flow and by spirit, we would get silent, we would stare into eyes, and then we would let the universe decide where the next venue was going to be. Holy trust. You really got to let go of control in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so we were called to do many things. We were called to
Many.
it didn't matter, and what we were called to do, we did it. And it was
She means like plant
I mean
medicine, entity
entity
removal.
removal, yes, all of these different it was and so it was really this incredible transformative time that
You removed
I
a couple
couldn't it was
implants,
yeah, I
implant
mean,
removal.
I said, "How am I going to do this? I don't know how to do this." And he goes, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
And so I did it. I called in every bit of my multidimensional self,
Mm-hmm.
and I called it in, and I called in my ancestors, and we did it. And it was I learned so much, and today
Mm-hmm.
I can reflect back because it was not a time that was planned. I didn't I obviously I signed up for it, right? Unbeknownst to me, I signed up
Right.
for it because I called it in. And and today it's one of the biggest factors that has set us the unfolding of what we're here to do.
Yeah,
It's this incredible fine-tunement. And
we were in reflection about it last night. So this is why I asked her to bring up what actually happened. Because it really did change our lives for the better for a bunch of different reasons. Because we learned so much on this thing. There was so many different things. Resiliency, you know what I mean? Being able to say yes to everything, practicing saying yes to anything and everything that comes your way for a minute, you know.
even when the programming says, no, don't do that. That's
Yeah.
way out of your box. Okay. That's pushing the limits just a little too much. No, we said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
So we did that for 3.5 weeks with our brother, and then we went and we had Sedona Dreamscape was after that, and then what was that?
Reconnect with,
Conscious Life Expo. There
yeah.
was there was a couple other things that happened, and we just decided that just gonna cruise around and do this for a minute. And we were like, well, we need a home base because we want to go to Europe, and we got a little puppy and we have stuff. So we were like, let's look for a place. So for like a year, we looked for a place as we were journeying around doing ceremony and meeting people and getting on these mini caravans. Now that we've been on one, we started doing these mini caravans and little mini tours. Like we'd go to different places and do ceremonies at a couple different places, and it just turned into a really cool adventure. And then the winter was coming a few years back, and we were like, well, what do you want to do? This weird thing happened. My daughter's car broke down here in Oregon, and I had been looking at this piece of property, this one right here we're on, and I didn't know how close it was. I wasn't even thinking about it, and it was like I think guy was asking 550 for it or something, and so I was like, wow, it's a really interesting piece of property. And well, the car broke down. We were like 2 hours, 2.5 hours from here at north towards Crater Lake, and her car broke down. So we towed it down to Grants Pass, which is 30 minutes from here. And we stayed in a hotel that night, because there was a bunch of us. My daughter and her partner and her dogs needed a place. Our friends wanted a shower, and they had a bunch of kids and all this stuff. So we just got one hotel room. We all stayed in there. And when we're in the room, I get a phone call, and it's this guy. He's like, "Hey, I relisted the property and I lowered the price. Do you want to come check it out?" And I was like, "Well, where exactly are you?" I said, "I'm in Grants Pass." He goes, "Oh, I'm right down the road." I was like, "No way." And he lowered the price down to 300,000. And
Oh.
so I was like, "Hey, do you want to go look at this?" And she was like, "Sure." And one of the things we had talked about before, and we had tried making deals already with people on the road, was would they take silver? Because when we sold the business and the home, we invested in silver, big, huge blocks of silver, kilos of silver, and a bunch of little ones too, but just lots of silver. And it was going to be, she said, wherever land we're supposed to land on, they'll accept the silver as our down payment, and it'll be the right place. So we came and looked at this place, and then we came again a second time, and we talked to him and said, "Hey, well, would you accept silver as a down payment?" And he said yes. And then we just looked at each other, and we just knew there was something going on, and
Mhm.
that's how we ended up here in Oregon.
And we were called here for sure.
Yeah, we were looking in
Everything
Oregon
shows.
too. We were looking in Oregon.
We were looking, but the most important thing for us was that we were near Mount Shasta.
Yeah,
That
and the
was
ocean.
and the ocean, but the Mount Shasta was this is part of our love and where we're meant to be. And so this is and it's a calling. So
Yeah.
we're very close. We're only about 2 hours away. And
Oh,
we even looked in Shasta also, but this land called us here, stopped us, and said, "You're coming here." And it's been an incredible journey since.
and does that river run through your property?
It does not. I wish that would be a dream come true. That's the next property, the next one we're working on. I'm going to build a house over a river or stream that runs year round, like
We
literally.
we do have water. We do have a water source that's right next to our property line that we share, which is
Mhm.
wonderful with our neighbor.
But we have
Mhm.
two wells.
Yep.
We have two beautiful wells that pump a lot of water out of the ground so we can feed the greenhouses, the fields, and everybody here.
Yeah. And
That's how we ended up here.
yes, and we
Mhm.
brought a tribe with us too.
We did.
So I'd love to share a little bit about this because
Yes.
we ended up for the first year that we were here, we had 9 adults, 4 children, and a plethora of beautiful fur babies and four-leggeds. And we learned a lot because Daystar and I have been, because as I've shared, I've followed spirit, my full potential self guiding me ever since I was a little girl. And so my one of my biggest mantras is no risk, no magic. And so if I don't take a risk, the magic isn't going to unfold if I stay in my programming in my box. And so when we had 13 people here, beings here, let me tell you, the land started to speak and we do hardcore deprogramming.
Mhm.
And that's what that whole year was about. And it was one of the most talk about being forged in the fire and seeing every mirror That's 13 mirrors. And it really gave me insight when I came into this beautiful union. I really thought that I had done an immense amount of work. And this is where the work really began when we came to this land.
Seriously.
It was deep, deep, profound, painstaking, liberating, breakdown after breakdown to have breakthrough work. And it was magic in so many ways and so lots of painful moments that we worked through together in tribe. And it's been a beautiful transitionary space for people to go on to the next days. It was such an incredible initiation that at one point I said, I, I want everyone that's not in resonance and who doesn't hold the vision to go on their way. It's time for them to move on if they are not in resonance with this vision. Mm-hmm. And from that declaration and statement that I made, and I made it on that big solar eclipse. Do you know the one that went through Texas?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I made it on that. And within 5 months, it was just Day and I left on the farm.
Yep.
Whoa.
Within 3 months, it was just us and one other person. This one kid we had here, Ryan, is our young
and we're
kid.
And it was transformative for us, for everyone here.
Yeah.
We're still close, we're tribe, but not everyone. Some people have gone on their way and we've served our purpose. And I've just learned so much from this experience. And the land itself, when we got here, we knew that we were here to regenerate the land. And he has background in permaculture, water waste management, and biodynamic farming. It's been a passion of mine for a long time. I did small scale. I started getting back to my roots when my kids were young. So I knew that this was also part of the process. I joked a lot and I said, I don't want to be a pioneer. I want to be a settler. Don't you guys get that? I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is a lot of, like, this is insane what I'm learning here. And they're like, too bad. My full potential is too bad. You get to do it. And I mean, we've gone through the process of wanting to sell and should we stay?
On the market for 6 months.
We put it on the market for 6 months. We got a cash offer. And even the land was like, no. And the land speaks through me. She speaks through me, and I know that if I'm feeling resistance, she's speaking through me. This is us. And so I know that we're meant to be here. And we're meant to do this and we can do it. And it's just been one incredible experience after another.
Really has.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gotten us to this, understanding of self so well that we can be around each other so well that we're really becoming the example we're trying to exude outwardly to the universe and the collective as a balanced person and a balanced person together in balance. You know what I mean? And it's also helped in our medicine work too, because we're back into our medicine work. Because this took a lot of our time when we first came here. We took like a year off from medicine work just recently, and then started back into the medicine world just so we could, do us, become closer, become more powerful, in, frequency and vibration, raise our frequency enough, high enough where it's very clearly seen and that our example is seen, and people see it. They see our aura, they see our togetherness, they see our interaction, they see everything, because I put it all out there on the machine. You already know that. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to share the journey, you know what I mean? I like to share the journey authentically, whether we're going through shit or going through good stuff. And if I'm going through shit, whatever I work through, whatever I worked through, however I got through it till we got to repair and then moved forward from that, I usually make a post about it, how I got there, to share my journey, you know what I mean, with others too. And so in the medicine world, what I was getting to is in the medicine world, it's really really changed our dynamic deeply this whole year and a half we've had together with just us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There was one time we didn't leave here for like 5 weeks. We didn't leave the farm, get in the car to go anywhere. We just stayed right here. When I went to turn the van on, it was dead. The battery was dead. I was like, geez and crow. How long's it been since we left? Because we don't notice sometimes. But that togetherness and that balance that we remind each other about, for each other individually, so we can be balanced together, has really stepped the game up into a whole, the game, the mission up into a whole new, you know, arena. I'm like really arena. I want to call it arena because it's a world arena now. And we're really breaking those mind boxes open by showing people through, the DMT ceremony. We call them spirit ceremonies. Through a spirit ceremony that we help people navigate in that liminal space, um, our brain becomes plasticized. So we have neuroplasticity. We're building new dendrites, right? They're like spider webs in our brain, like you were just talking about, the
Mhm.
creation of the world. Dendrites, look at a picture of dendrites. It'll probably be the exact picture you were talking about, the universe is in creation. Synapse gaps, brand new ones, brand new synapse. Dopamine receptors, brand new. So it's doing all this stuff in our brain, in people's brain and our brain, because we inhale with the person. We do it through crystallization. We take the crystal and we vaporize it through an inhalation. And then during the inhalation is when we get to do the work. And it's all ancient stuff. This is not a new modality, even though it seems like a new modality. Like it so seems like a new modality that we've been asked to create an actual accredited course for it, like a master's program and a undergraduate program about how to navigate the altered states and the liminal space. And so we bring people into that liminal space, and with our balance so well balanced, she can hold the heart container, and then I travel with them. I go across the bridge as the ferryman, into spirit world with the people, and when they, get confused or something, I might just tap them on the shoulder and say, "Go that way," and they're like, "Oh, cool," and then they go that way. But this is the space we bring people into to reprogram, deprogram. I don't even want to say that. What's the other word we came up with? But that's what we're doing, deprogramming and reprogram. Doesn't matter what kind of instance it is. It doesn't matter if it was a traumatic event or if it was, your first day of school in the first grade, you dropped your Kool-Aid on your dress and you had to go to school all day that day and you still remember it. Doesn't matter what it is. We can bring you into that space, change the agreement, you know, of the situation, change the agreement. Like if I felt sadness, we'll change it to something else, joy, blah, 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 this and that in that space, because we're really bringing you into the present moment and
Mhm.
away from those thoughts, because those thoughts bring us into a depressive state. And then, excuse me, our thoughts bring us into an anxiety state. A thought brings us to anxiety and fear. And then our memories bring us into that depressive state. So if we stay in this state right here, presence, we're safe, we have food, we have shelter and companionship. We have all the building blocks for the happiest joy, from living from joy, living from love, life. Those are the perpetual components people are looking for, food, shelter, and companionship. And those are the only things we really need in this world. And when we get people in that present space right there and they can see that, when they really realize those things, then we help them see that they're the director of their own movie at the same time. So we're in this liminal space, neuroplasticity, programmable thoughts, we erase those and we let people decide if they want to have their own, and we don't guide any of this. This is all easy and delicious flow coming from the person that sits with us. And whatever the flow brings to us, we help them direct their own healing from themselves, their own change of agreements from themselves.
Yeah.
And we do this in this space, in the liminal space where this neuroplasticity is. So when your brain is plastic like that, pliable, we'll call it pliable. When your brain's pliable like that, it's programmable. completely programmable. And that's one of the reasons that, cults work and brainwashing works and, hypnosis works so well. You know what I mean? They get people into those space and boom, they just program because it's neuroplasticity. Mushrooms do the same thing. Psychedelic mushrooms do the same thing, bring you into that space, neuroplasticity because they're neurotropics. So that's the excitement of today and what we do today now, going on tour and it's gone from, it's evolved from, we were breaking those brain boxes open into now helping people completely direct their own movie from this point forward in life in any way they so choose and seem fit for themselves.
Perfect. Perfect. And what vision do you have for the land there where you're living? What in your ideal future vision, how does it look?
Well, it looks to me like all the greenhouses working, growing food, and the fields working, growing food, and the sacred gardens, people sitting in them, having hape, cacao, meditation, yoga, fresh fruits and vegetables, the teepee being used for something, I don't know, class, anything, the Bonaccio truffle field being harvested. Um, uh, People saying hi and singing and dancing when they're walking around here. A few families living here permanently because it's 10 acres here, so there's enough room for a few families to live here permanently and maybe some caretakers and stewards in small little cabins around the property to help the forward progress happen and symbiotically living off the land, getting everything solar powered eventually and get some wind power, get some, magnetic generators so you don't have to have gasoline or sun or solar or anything or wind.
Mm-hmm.
Producing net positive for the world, producing net positive for the world, producing foods and goods and things that are positively useful out there in the world and healing the land that it's on and regenerating the land into a regenerative life force that's continually alive and giving back to the land itself. So giving back to the land in a net positive way, giving to the communities in the world in a net positive way, and this being net positive for us as a human experience, like a monetarily abundance. So we could go and do ceremonies in Spain, ceremonies in Europe, and things like that without having to really figure it out, because right now it's like really figuring it out. But that's my vision.
That's our vision, and it's the most beautiful thing about it is that the land is showing us. The land is the teacher. The land is showing us what she wants, what she needs, and what is here. And it's going to be definitely a healing space.
Yeah.
A connecting space, a community space. We're going to in time as it's unfolding so beautifully now as we've been called now to open the land back up to other beings and recreate and redirect. And so she's telling us everything. And so we're kind of following what she tells us to do. And it's net positive is just for us is leaving the planet a better place than we found it. And I took a lot from the planet and humanity when I was unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I have become more self-aware and more of a conscious being, and every day I get a little bit more, I want to continue to give back. I don't want to take anymore. I want to leave humanity and this planet, and I have come here to do that, to leave it a better place than when I came here.
Wonderful. I love it. I really feel like your vision for the land there is exactly where we're headed. Because when all of the systems collapse, people are going to need to be able to live off the land and grow their own food and be in community. We've been way too isolated, and it hasn't. I think we're meant to be in tribes, to be living together and working together. it sounds like it would just be a great place to have retreats.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be an amazing retreat center. We have trails through the woods and it's just beautiful. We're at the bottom of a mountain. There's like, I don't know, 350,000 acres out there that's just free land to roam, rivers and streams and lakes and waterfalls. It's just really beautiful.
What is the elevation there?
We're at about 1,300 feet right here.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good. And you're pretty close to the coastline too, correct?
1 hour.
1 hour. Mm-hmm.
And 2 hours from Mount Shasta.
2 hours from Shasta.
An hour from the airport in Medford, and what is the redwoods are about 45 minutes.
45 minutes to Redwood Forest.
Mm-hmm.
We got Crater Lake is 2 hours away. Truliger Hot Springs, Cougar Hot Springs is 2.5 hours away. Umpqua Hot Springs is 2.5 hours away. So it's really just wonderful being right here.
It sounds like it. Are there Indian tribes near where you are? Some reservations?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a couple in the a little north of us, up on the other side of Grants Pass is a big one, and there's another one down further near us in this area. There's another one down towards the coast.
Wonderful. I love it. Do you have a message that you think is important for people to hear right now? I mean, you've really, everything you're doing and all the services that you're offering is a message in itself. But do you have something that you would really like to say to the audience?
Yeah, for sure. I think that the message is live from joy. Live from joy, not for it. Don't chase it. Don't chase love. Live from love and be here now. That's the present moment is a gift for real. And all those corny statements that say that have been corny as heck for years, but now they make sense.
Right.
Let's be here now in presence because it's a gift, and let's live from joy and love, and the world will change.
Right.
That's right.
What about you, Blu?
Well, one of the biggest things is that's the presence in the present moment. We're finding that the other aspects that keep us distracted and fragmented is slowly going away as we stay in that present moment. And it's not an easy thing to do, but we can do it. And in those moments, in the times of quiet, and where we can limit the distractions of the world and really get quiet with ourselves, we will find our purpose. And it's in the heart. And as we continue to do what lights your heart on fire, because like you said, the excitement is what's showing us the right way. Right. If it's not lighting us up, then it's a no. And so just keep, like he said, gratitude and joy. That's what I found when I started to learn about joy and living from joy and living in a space of gratitude that I get to have this experience.
Get to have this experience. Get to be here. We get to be here. We get to do this. We get to talk to you today. This is the best day ever.
Find the magic in the moments. Find the magic in the moments of connection with even just a stranger that you say hello to on the street, or if you happen to help someone put their groceries in their car. There is so many magical moments. And in that present moment, if we start to practice and those types of exchanges, do one thing daily to get out of the self, and it's going to start changing out of the signal. Yes, get out of the signal, but the signal is the self. So,
wow, you guys have just filled me up. And the heart is a portal. It is a portal. So I have just loved talking with you both. You just present a new paradigm, which people really should take seriously and think about their own lives and how they could bring their own joy into their lives and their gratitude, and perhaps it's time for a change. You never know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. It is. It's time for everybody to change, and we're excited to see you when you get up here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love you
Thank you.
both. Sending
Thank
so much
you.
love, and
Love.
we will get you on here again real soon. And because I'd like to have you do a tour, walk around the property and show
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, now that the weather's getting really nice in Oregon.
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just been wonderful connecting with you.
Completely. I'm
Yeah.
so
It
grateful.
almost seems like we were just hanging out. We weren't even in some sort of interview. It was more like hanging out, talking.
You have a wonderful day. I love
Thank
you
you
so
also.
much.
I love you so much also, and I look forward to connecting more.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, April. I really appreciate you.
Oh, I
So
appreciate
funny you're
it.
called the Galactic Grandmother. They used to call me the Galactic Shaman. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Sending
you.
lots of love, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You
Same.
also.
All righty.
Until soon.
Till
Yeah.
soon.
All righty. Bye.